What up, guys? So this is actually makeup recording for I actually filmed a video yesterday on Wednesday and it just didn't work out because of audio issues. You want to hear that story, click up on the card and check out my review of the video, or my unboxing actually, of the Rode Video Micro. This is actually what the audio you're listening to is coming through now. Ultimately, I got this mic because batteries suck and they die out unexpectedly, and I lost all my audio from my last shoot. I'm probably going to be leaving this spot. There's like a 100-mile club event going on, a lot of kids and a lot of curious eyes. I just got asked if I'm a YouTuber, and that was the first time I've had to answer that question, which is really cool. My response was simply, I'm trying to be, and this might be a good exercise to get comfortable with vlogging in front of people. So I don't know, we might change locations. I'm gonna decide after this cut. All right, so we'll stick around for a little bit. We'll at least enter the topic here. So Dos Lagos, this spot I'm at, is actually pretty quiet on a Thursday. Actually, confession, I thought it was Friday, but that is actually because I'm having my last day at LuLaRoe. I've been with LuLaRoe for 2.5 years, and a job opportunity kind of came up out of the blue. A friend of mine who I haven't talked to in quite some time had hit me up and said, hey, I've got a job opening at my work. I think you'd be perfect for the role of what they're looking for. Are you looking for work? And kind of on the low, I was just looking at other opportunities that might be more fitting for my life stage. And with all the things that are changing so rapidly in our life personally, it's just a perfect season to take on a new job. Got a new house, my wife's personal training business is taking off. If you need a personal trainer in Riverside, hit me up. And it just seemed like it made sense for me to step into a new role and new challenges. We're also going to a new church out in Riverside that we're really excited about, and getting to connect with friends on a new level. So lots happening in the Gomez residence, and we are really excited for it. So that was my frog from last week. If you remember Eat That Frog, check out the video up there. I talked about something I just did that I've been putting off, and it felt so relieving. Well, that was it, was putting in my 2 weeks at LuLaRoe and getting poised to make my transition out into a new role. And truthfully, it's coming with a little bit of a pay increase, which helps when you have a new apartment and you want to put stuff in that apartment besides just yourself in a bed. So we're really excited, my wife's really happy, and we're just gonna see what happens. So the topic I wanted to intro after we got that live news out of the way was about humanity, and not like the overarching like humankind, but I think we as a society have this bad habit of robbing people of their humanity. And I'll give a few examples of what I mean, and probably how we're both guilty of that. You and I, we've done this for sure. And I'm really trying to break that habit. At the end of this, I'm gonna present a challenge to you to make sure that you no longer rob anybody of their humanity. But let's switch up the view a little bit. All right, so we're not going too far. I literally went from there to here, sitting down. So there we go. So example one, this happens a lot at where I used to work, will formerly be working. Depends on when this video goes up. Anyways, picture a long hallway, really long. Let's call it, I don't know, 100 feet long. Pretty long hallway, lots of offices down this hallway. On one end of the hallway, somebody walks out, and on the opposite end of the hallway where you're at, you walk out of an office door. You then both begin to walk toward each other toward the elevator lobby. Now this is an unbearably long, socially awkward for some reason moment, because you both don't know where to look. And where you end up looking is here. You pull out your phone and you pretend you have some important text message. Oh wow, you're probably just playing Pokemon Go. That's what I do sometimes. Weird confession time. And then you get about like 3 feet from each other. You look up, so, oh, there's a person, and then you maybe nod, or maybe you just look up and glance and then look away and you carry on, you go your separate ways. That sucks. You've just robbed somebody of their existence. It's an extreme statement, but to some degree I think it's kind of accurate. Example two, you are coming off the freeway off-ramp. You are making your turn around the little bend, you're slowing down, hitting the brakes, it's a red light, and you're praying that the light turns green so that way you don't have to awkwardly like lock your neck in a forward position and avoid the person who's holding the sign asking for help. Whether or not you have change, whether you've got a 20 cents or $20 or nothing at all on you, you still, in that moment, rob that person who's also in a really, really bad position. You rob them of their humanity. Now, I'm not saying you empty your bank account or you always carry cash on you. If you want to, that's awesome, and you're prepared to bless somebody else. That's great. But what seems to bother me, and I am guilty as charged, of ignoring that person entirely, like they don't even exist. Like they may as well not be standing there because you've just made them invisible. And for a person in that position, I'm generalizing, I know, but that's probably not a very good feeling, because they are already down and out and they're asking for help in humility, and you just then say, hey, you're not even worth a glance, let alone my money. Kind of sucks. Last one. The last one, your morning routine. I think for 95% of us, it includes a stop to a coffee establishment of some sort, be it Starbucks, a local hipster coffee roaster, or even 7-Eleven. You get your coffee on your morning route to work. But do you know that person's name? Like, not if like they have like a name badge, but like, or even that, like, do you know somebody's name? And not through their name badge, but through their face, which should be a more unique identifier than a name badge on their chest. If you do, awesome, great. You're on your steps to, I think, being a better person. Or even this, if they do have a name badge, do you acknowledge their name? That is why the name badge is there. It is so they can be acknowledged and have a name, but so often we don't even bother using that name. So I've had a habit, and I'm going to get back into that habit of doing something, and we'll describe it in a new scenery. So I really don't know why I just didn't come here and film initially. I've always thought like, oh, it's kind of ugly, but it's quiet. There's nothing going on. There's cars driving over here, but that's the building that will be, as of tomorrow, my old office building. So let's get back on track. So I wanted to talk about the habit I used to have that I'm gonna start to form, and I'm gonna actually ask you to adapt into your own life. I used to have this habit and this goal to learn one person's name every day, a new person, and like commit that to memory. If I were to see them again, I'd be able to use their name. There's something powerful in the value of a name, and I believe that helps grant people back their humanity. But let's go back to the examples before we get into that. Example one, the hallway example. You are walking down the hallway, and instead of going to your phone, scrolling through Instagram, because you've already been doing that all day, look that person in the eye, flash them a smile, not creepily, don't stare at them, but acknowledge them. Give them a hi, good morning. Even if it's a little further than you might feel comfortable saying it, give them that and let them know, like, hey, I see you, I understand you're another human being just like me, and I acknowledge your existence. Like, it's that simple. The freeway scenario. Instead of just ignoring the person with the sign on the freeway, at least flash them a smile. That may signal to them that you're inviting them near, and if you don't have anything, still roll your window down and say, I'm so sorry I don't have any cash. I just want you to have a better day, and hopefully things turn around for you. In fact, I'm gonna ask you to one-up that. Reach your hand out the window and shake their hand and ask them their name. Believe it or not, they have a name, and I don't know how often people ask it. So you be the person to ask it and to give them back that piece of their humanity. And that may be enough to lift their spirits for the day or even for longer. Or it may do nothing. You don't know what it's going to do. But that isn't your job. Your job isn't to control what it does for that person. Your job is to simply start to make the change in your heart and in the way you see people, and let them do what they will with the rest. And then the last one, our faithful baristas. They know your name. They know your drink if they don't know your name. I'm gonna ask you to ask them their name and commit it to memory. So that way every time you see them, you can address them and say, hey, good morning, Mary. How are you doing today? Thank you for my cup of coffee. Thank you for remembering my drink order every day. Thanks for the prompt service. Thanks for the friendly smile before I go to work. Throw in your additional greeting as you please. And I'm gonna talk to the millennials because everybody's talking to us nowadays, trying to get our attention. We want to change the world. But if you watch the Lollipop Moments video I talked about in one of my previous videos, I'll link it down below so you can watch it. Drew Dudley, and if I butcher this, Drew, my bad. Drew Dudley says, there isn't a world to change. There are only 7 billion understandings of the world. And if you can begin to change one of those, we can begin to see a better world overall. So if you're gung-ho about wanting to make an impact, don't try and tackle world hunger. If you can, you have the resources, go for it. I don't want to be the one to say don't stop world hunger. But what I want to say is, if you're aiming for big, you have to start with the small, incremental changes to the world every day. Because if you're a better person and every person you come in contact can then become a better person after that, your ability to influence the world multiplies beyond trying to start a Kickstarter campaign for a local charity. Those aren't bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is millennials have this I want to be a world changer attitude, but they don't want to change just one person's world. They want to change everybody's world. But world change happens one person at a time. So here it is, your challenge. I challenge you for the next 7 days to change one person's world, at least one person's. Don't get to like one person at like 8 a.m. and say, oh, I'm done, Chris, I don't have to change everybody else's world. No, do as many as you can, but the goal is to learn at least one person's name every day or acknowledge their existence and give them back their humanity. And I know this is gonna be tough for some and easier for others. To my introverts out there, do it, just give it a shot. It's not gonna hurt, I promise. To my extroverts, get out there. What are you waiting for? You're a freaking extrovert. Start talking to people. And I'm not just throwing this challenge out to you. I'm really working on this. At work, I didn't pick up anybody's name, but today, if I were crossing paths with somebody, I made a point to engage them. Say hello, good morning, hey, how you doing? Have a great day. Stuff like that, that just breaks down that barrier of social awkwardness that exists for some reason. We're all humans trying to make a way for ourselves in this life, and we all just want to be loved. I think that you can begin to change people's lives by doing that. If you're down for this challenge, let me know in the comments below. Say something like, hey, I'm gonna be taking this challenge on with you, or I'm looking to change somebody's life one day at a time. Something like that, let me know you're on board. If you have some cool stories, please do let me know in the comments as well. I'd love to hear those stories and maybe even share them in another video. So I really hope you found this video inspiring and thought-provoking. If you're perfect and you don't do any of those things I mentioned, then awesome. You're already living life the way it should be. That continue and bring people along with you for the journey. If you're like me and you kind of suck at times, then let's stop sucking and let's be better people and let's restore humanity back to those around us. That'll be all for today, guys. Thank you again for tuning into this video. I hope you do like the content I'm putting out. If you are, hit subscribe and that bell notification to be notified of when videos post. We're looking at a weekly schedule just with the way life is going. Comment down below any other thoughts on this topic that you might have. Also, thumbs up always helps. Hey, you know what? I'm even down for thumbs down. If you didn't like the video, cool. Let me know that as well. Either way, let's get a conversation going. Let's all try to be the best versions of ourselves. Until the next one, we'll see ya.